Speak to My Heart Life Coaching presents the Door to Expansion webcast. Your host, Mar Anthony Hubbard. Co-host, Stephanie Hollins Passmore. Prepare your ears to listen and your heart to receive. As you take in words that change lives, renew hearts, and open minds.
All right. I had to cut it off. I know y'all finna start jamming too much. Welcome. We at the Door to Expansion webcast. My name is Mar Anthony Hubbard, and I am the owner and founder of Speak to My Heart Life Coaching. With all that being said, as you noticed, my co-host Miss Stephanie is not here. She's handling some of her own personal stuff, and we pray that everything goes well and right with her. But the show must go on. So, with that being said, today we will be discussing, I think, something that's near and dear to everybody's heart because if you're married, divorced, single, everybody has to go through the process. So, the top of the series is the grass green on the other side. And today we're going to be discussing dating and what is it. So, today I had two lovely people join me. We have my daughter Brianna, and he calls himself Eric B. I call him Big B, and I'll let them uh, introduce themselves.
Go ahead, Bree. Ladies first.
Lisa. Hello, I'm Brianna, his daughter.
Hey, y'all. My name is Bernard. I'm Eric B.
Eric B. All right, y'all. So, with everybody that's tuning in, this is going to be a great opportunity for y'all to chime in. I'm going to have the questions that's going to be posted up there that I'll be asking them, and then I'll chime in with a couple of my own little things in here. But if you do have any comments or questions, please put them in the chat, and then we'll get to them. So to start this thing off, the first question I have for y'all is, how do you define dating? What's y'all definition of dating?
Nowadays it's definitely different than how it used to be. Just hearing stories from like my grandparents or my mom and dad, when they was dating to now, modern dating, it's weird because everybody have different definitions. Dating, it's got so many meanings. Whereas dating could mean, oh well, I'm talking to a bunch of different people, or dating meaning, oh, I'm going out all the time and I'm meeting different people and just, testing the waters. Or it could mean, I'm actually seeing somebody, we're dating, I'm exclusive, whatever the case may be. Me personally, if I'm dating somebody, then it's me getting to know you to see if we can have an actual relationship. If we got something going forward, you know, but if not, go talk to somebody else. Yes.
What you got on?
I kind of agree. I would look at dating as that time when you're getting to know somebody. So, like those first couple of dates, conversations, just getting to know them, seeing if you're comfortable, if you're compatible. I wouldn't go as far as to say dating is the exclusive relationship, it's the process towards a relationship.
And I was reading this book, and that's where that question came up, is because we all we all have our definitions of what dating is, and since we all have a different definition, you almost it almost begged the question to say, do you supposed to say something about it? Because I think a lot of people have expectations, and with them expectations, if they're not met, because if I think we're exclusive because we're dating, and the other person is like, no, a date means that I'm seeing other different people. So
That's
for
true.
y'all, how long have y'all been in a relationship?
So since January of
2020.
2020, so almost 2 years.
2.5 years.
2.5 years?
Yes. Next year is 3
Oh,
years.
we in 2022, huh?
Yes.
I'm losing track already.
I, that was not a question that was supposed to be asked. I just had to put you on the spot real quick.
I'm losing track already.
No, but like I said, that's the biggest thing though, because whenever you're dating, and I guess the other question would be, at what point in time do you say we're not dating, we in a relationship? Because I think that's whenever you have to make that jump. And if you don't ever make that jump, one person might be thinking one way and the other person thinking another way. So
Yeah.
I think we kind of went through that because I know after, I think it was in January, I kind of talked to him and I asked him what we were, if we were exclusive. And we kind of had that conversation.
Yeah, because I mean, like initially, I was definitely on the fence about it. I was like, I don't know. And it got to a point where I was, making that time to be with her instead of, giving that energy to somebody else. So it was one of them situations where I was like, it might be time. Take this a little bit further, take that next step. So it was a process, though.
and that's why I say that's why that question was so relevant to me is how do you define dating? And not saying anything, it can lead down to some two upset people.
Easily.
So this is gonna bring up my next question. What is the ideal first date? If you had a date and you be like, hey, you know what, my ideal first date, as kids, people grow up and want to have the ideal wedding, but what would be your ideal first date?
I'll let you take that one first.
I think in general, dinner is just somewhere where you can sit down and actually have a conversation. Because I know a lot of people will say movies, but you can't have a conversation in a movie. So I would say somewhere public, you can either do like a more secluded area, just somewhere where I think you can have that one-on-one conversation because you can't get to know somebody watching the screen the whole time.
The bar. Okay? That's my ideal place, the bar. We can go to a bar, we can sit there, I can get a few drinks in you, the truth is going to come out. You're going to tell me stuff that you might not want to tell me on the first date. And I'm fine with that. Because if you feel comfortable enough to tell me something like that on the first date, whether you've been drinking or not, subconsciously you decided to tell me what's going on. We deep diving now, so I'm fine with that. I'm getting to know the real you, whether you influenced or not. So that go a long way.
So on the first date, do you expect people to actually go into their whole life, their whole history, or is that something that kind of scare y'all?
I think I went into my whole life and history on our first date. So. I mean, that don't really scare me.
Nah, no, you didn't. No, you didn't.
It was pretty open.
You didn't say a word, actually.
That is not true.
Yeah, it was.
That is not true.
First date was me talking, and you sitting there. I was like, yeah, okay. Like you were agreeing with me. You weren't comfortable yet, so it was something like that. I don't expect nobody to open up on first dates. It's first date. You don't know me. I don't know you. I mean, I get it. That's part of it, is to get to know one another. But it's just at that point you're doing like little icebreakers. Like it's the beginning.
And the reason I bring it up is because, like, whenever I'm teaching my classes and everything for employment, I always tell people now I correlate it back to dating, and to say that for me to come in here and say, look, this is what happened to me when I was young. This is where I am now. I want to have 18 kids. I want to work here. Whenever I die, I want to be buried here. All on the first date. Because that's all that on the first date. And I'm gonna be like, you know what? We don't need to have a second date because I already know everything.
Yeah, it's overwhelming. I mean, stuff like that. It's just like kind of a red flag, but it also lets me know like you're an open book. And people say that when they just throw it all out there, just lay it all out. They say that, but stuff don't always go according to plan. Things are gonna change. People tend to change, not all the time, but over time, something's going to change. So it's nothing's guaranteed.
So our first comment today is it's a first dates. Don't tell them your life story. Please don't,
Absolutely not. Don't
because
nobody need to know
because most time you might scare somebody off.
that.
We all know we got that crazy family member, and then you want to start talking about your crazy past and what happened to you. Then I'm probably gonna get up and walk on away from you. So
Trauma. Nobody wants to deal with trauma.
how you gonna have PTSD after your first date?
Gonna make you stop dating. Yeah.
Like, you know what, man? I'm good.
Let me take a little break. I got PTSD.
Do you want to go on a date next week? No, I'm good.
Not at all. Not at all.
That's whenever the people start getting ghosted.
No, we made plans. I'm sorry. Can't
Yeah.
do it.
So here's some, and this don't have to be like to me. This question right here is a general question. What are some deal breakers while dating? I mean, this can go with your friends, with what you've seen in the past. I mean, but what are some things that you've seen that's been deal breakers?
Go first. I got a lot of them. No baby mama drama. Or baby daddy drama. The craziness. I ain't talking like how guys just be like, oh well, women crazy in general. No, I'm talking about the actual people out there who don't. It's like if you try to explain yourself in a certain situation, if she already ran off with it, and she may not have the full story about something, or he may not have the full story about something. The toxic stuff, all of that's just red flags. The no communication thing, the no understanding thing, the no compromise thing. Those are deal breakers because we can't build nothing without that stuff. So it's important.
Okay. What you got?
No, I agree with some of his. Communication is a big thing. If we can't talk about our issues or anything, then that's kind of a no-go for me. Patience, I guess. Not someone who's quick to get angry. I think it takes a lot of patience and work and contributions. So that too.
Strong.
What artist was that used to was it Future talking about mask off?
Yep.
And whenever we start thinking about dating, whenever you're in that dating phase, there's a whole bunch of masks that's put on there. That facade is on there, and just like how y'all were talking about with the patience thing. Think about going to a restaurant and somebody's feeling some on a person, and you see them get 0 to 10, they getting hot real quick. Most people don't see that as a red sign. They say, you know what, this person probably got a little temper on them. They just be like, oh well, that might be warranted or whatever. But it's a red flag because you have to think, if that person go off on that person like that, what are they gonna do to you if you say something out the way?
Especially once they start to get comfortable with you.
Yeah.
How far is that 0 to 100 going to go?
Yeah. Guaranteed.
So I mean, I totally agree with some of the things that y'all was talking about. Deal breaking, the deal breakers. Another one I would say a deal breaker is, how you was talking about then going to a bar or something like that. If I see somebody as a lush,
Oh, yeah, man.
hey, I can understand. You sipping one or two and you feeling good and everything, and you just want to relax. But if you 30 shots in,
All right, what we doing now at this point? The date's over at this point. You might be an alcoholic. Yeah. No, at that point, I can just sneak on off. They can pay their tab. I pay my tab. We go about our way. That's it.
Well, that's jacked up. You ain't gonna pay their time for them?
Hey, she already messed up. Somebody exactly. Red flag. It's time to go. It's time to go. You're gonna sit there and pay your tab. They be like, she came with you. Like, no.
Let me go to the bathroom real quick.
There you go.
So this right here is going that kind of leads up into these next two questions. So the first one is, should a woman ever ask a man out? And if she does, should she pay?
I mean, it goes as far as if a man asks you out and you expect him to pay, why wouldn't, if you ask him out, why wouldn't you pay? Or go 50-50? At least in my idea, if I'm asking him out on a date, I expect to pay because I asked him if he wanted to go.
I agree. Woman asked me out. Let's go on a date. Cool. Take me out. I bring my wallet just cause, but I'm not expecting to pay. You ask me out, pay for me. Show me some love. But if not, I might have a little problem with it. Like you asked me out. I ain't have to be here.
But that's even what even if you got a partner, you got your girlfriend or whomever, it's the same way. And some people don't. I guess they wasn't raised like that, or they don't think like that. The fact is, if I asked you to go out with me, that means I'm covering everything. And some people, they just like, oh, well, you know what? They ask, you know, if Willie came and said, hey, Mar Anthony, let's go out. I'm like, all right, cool, we're gonna go out. So we hanging out, and at the end of the day, I'm like, hey, Willie, you want to ask me? Like you said, I could be at the house chilling.
Be at the house. You asked me out. We had a good time. Don't get me wrong, but hey, man,
I didn't budget all that in my budget. Right? This right here was not budgeted.
Most times, you have to let them know up front. Just like, hey, you paying? You offering? So if you paying, I definitely come out with you because you might not have time for it, or you may just not want to spend no money that day. So it's one of them situations.
But wouldn't that be an awkward conversation to have, like on the first or second date, though?
For some, but not all. There have been weirder conversations.
I mean, the second date, next thing you know, like, hey, I think we should go back out and hook up again. Like, all right, then that's cool. Are you paying this time?
I mean,
on the first date, who's supposed to pay?
Well, well, that's another thing. I mean, if she asked me out and it's the first date, she approached me and she asked me out, like, okay, I am kind of expecting her to pay on the first date. So, see, the second date, I'm comping everything. It's fine. That's a good sign right there in itself, is it not? We sharing. She got the first one, I got the second one. We already making strides.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that.
Yeah.
So, do you think it's a man's responsibility to upkeep a woman's hair and nails, and vice versa? Is it a woman's responsibility to get the man haircut and make him look good because hey, y'all exclusive, y'all dating?
And with that right there, if we exclusive, we in a relationship, that's fine.
Okay.
Better get her nails did, her hair done. You know what I'm saying? She can pay for me to go get a haircut or get my hair retwisted, get my nails, get my feet done. That's fine. Now for dating, I don't know what to tell you. I'm not doing none of that. That's your response. That's personal hygiene. You want me to take care of you like that and you can't take care of yourself? Who raised you? Mm-mm.
Well, hey, you know what? Think about it. If y'all on y'all third or fourth date, and y'all finna get ready and go out to some little spot, you ain't gonna want to like purchase a dress or get her hair done just to make sure because she represent you on that moment in time.
Guaranteed. But the thing is, if I do that so early on, and this is just me, if I do that so early on, if I'm buying her dresses and stuff like that just for her to go out, to me, I'm not gonna say that's a control aspect, but it's more so, it's an expectation that comes with that too. Like, oh, he bought me this and that, this out for a date. So who's to say? I mean, every time or every once in a while, she's gonna expect me to continue to do that. And it may get to a point where she's like, oh, if I don't do it, what's gonna happen now? Like, what's gonna be the response as it like, oh, you didn't buy me no clothes or shoes this time. You ain't what happened? What's the problem? So now I have to.
So the comment came saying that's too early. So what's the proper time? When is it the proper time to do something like that?
After that dating period, I guess. So when we both can sat down, we've talked about it, and we both understand that we're exclusive now. If we go out to celebrate us coming together now, we good. Sure. I wouldn't necessarily go out and just buy something, but let's go to the mall, go pick out some stuff. Oh, you like that? Cool. Early gift. There you go. Boom. You wear this out tonight. You like that? You picked it. Boom. No problems. That's fine.
B, you sound like you just trying to. You be like, hey, you know what? I going to get your hair. I don't want to get your hair and your nails done. Buy this outfit. Next thing you know, 2 days later, you out with somebody else, and I see you,
Well,
and you looking good for them too.
that's how it is nowadays. For real. Most women nowadays, they all about money. I hate to say it like that, but they're like, oh no, you can't talk to me because, well, maybe you need money to talk to me. And my friends go through it all the time. I see it all the time. They're like, no, you're not my type. Like they go to, you're not my type. So they follow up question, what's your type? And they're like, oh well, I like guys with money. What that mean? Like, oh well, can you get my nails did? Can you get my hair done? Can you buy me this? Can you buy me that? I see what you got. I want what you got. I work for what I got.
You know that brings up this point. I wish I had the video that I could pull up real quick. It was a young lady that was in the mall, and she was with a guy, and she had her pair of shoes because the guy went in there. He was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna buy you some shoes," but she put like two other pair of shoes up there, and she was like, "This one right here is for my niece and my nephew."
The whole
And he
family.
was like, "Hold up for a minute." I said I was gonna buy you some shoes, and she was like, "Yeah, you can buy me and them some." He was like, "No, I'm buying you shoes." And she was like, "Oh, well, you sitting up here saying how much money you got, but now you ain't got enough money for all of us." It's like, whoa, how you gonna come up with something like that?
And see, now she all upset, and that's a deal breaker for her. Cause she's like, well, you ain't got no money. Cause you can't pay for me and mine.
Well,
Nah.
I guess it goes back to that the other lady with the McDonald thing when the woman bring the when the dude brought his kid to McDonald's, and next thing you know, she was like, well, "Why you didn't bring everybody to McDonald's?"
I mean, that's just me. You can't do for one kid without doing for all of them. Cause you say
Say not all women are gold diggers.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Not all women are, but I guess that's just my luck. Most of them I've come across, they just like, oh well, you can't do nothing for me, then it is what it is.
Well, apparently, you just showed that you got a lot of money, and then they just expected you to hand it out.
I ain't doing nothing. Not a thing. Keep on, find somebody else. We good over here. Mm-mm.
So here then, if that's the case, then let's start talking about some attributes. What are some attributes you look for in a partner, and are they the ones that you possess, or are they different?
Knock it out, bro.
Good. Um, Attributes. Sense of humor is a big thing, I would say to me. I don't know why. Obviously, yeah, goofy, very goofy. uh, I would. A lot of people say like physically attractive, and I would say that, but I think my definition of attractive is different from other people's definition. So, in my perspective, I would say someone who's attractive to me, someone who's funny or goofy, someone who um, can match me, keep me entertained. um, Good personal hygiene for sure. That's a big one.
Hygiene. Hygiene.
Hygiene.
God.
And I guess someone who just understands.
Oh, that's some reverb there.
Okay, we good. We good.
All right. So some those same attributes that you mentioned, Anna, is that something that you possess?
I think I have good hygiene. Yes.
There you
I wouldn't say I have. I think I have a good sense of humor. I guess I'd say I can be goofy. So yeah, I think so. And not to sound conceited, but I would say I am a pretty attractive person in my eyes. So yes.
Well, because they always say the opposites attract. So that's where the question really comes from. Is like, do you want somebody who matches you, or are you looking for? I really hate to say it, somebody that completes you. You know, maybe I might be lacking on this thing right here, so I'm gonna look for it in this other person.
Hmm, not so much. I mean, attributes. It never really bothered me. I think I just look for somebody that I connect with, whether they're funny or not. Not necessarily to match what I'm lacking or to match what I have. Like that never really bothered me.
You gotta be.
Um, well, I'm a little different. I'm more on the serious side. I do like to have fun and joke around and stuff, but when it's when it depends on the situation. When it's time to get stuff done, or if I'm if I got stuff going on, and I would much rather take care of it then and there. Or if like maybe a situation happened and somebody may crack a joke or something, during that time I may not find it funny. I was like, maybe not the best time to crack a joke like that. But definitely the hygiene thing, because that's just I met some people that just don't take care of themselves. It's just that's gross.
It throws you off. It really
Yeah,
does.
it definitely
It
does.
throw you off sometimes.
I do like, good personality, uh, good conversation. You know, not too goofy, not too goofy. I'm not big on the whole bubbly personality thing because that's to me that's a bit much. So definitely, like I can't come home and she just be excited all the time. I get it, but I'm happy to see you too, but just don't go overboard with it. Oh my God, you're home. You made it. I'm so happy you're here. Like, tone it down a little bit, please. I can't take it all. Um, I looks definitely play a part in it, but that's just like it's the beginning stage of it. For me, it's all mental. Like, like Bree, you're a little anxious. You get nervous all the time. So like that was just it's one of them things where we're gonna work on it. Because you break down. But like that's one of the things. It's like, well, it's a mental thing. Something we can work out, help you get over anxiety, all of that, and that's cool. Um, oh man, somebody that is goal oriented to a certain extent. Um, yeah, I mean it's a lot. It's a lot because I mean before I met Bree, it was just I was out there and I didn't. It wasn't nothing out there. That's the problem. Have a big heart.
Yeah, somebody said have a big heart.
That's
Does
okay. Yeah.
does have a big heart. definitely needs to have a big heart, caring, family. Well, man, it's a lot. I might be a little picky.
So now here's the thing with the family, and that can go to me. I think it can go both ways. And the reason why I say it can go both ways is because if somebody have too much family involvement, you
Mhm.
come in as an outsider,
It's a deal
they
breaker.
might tend to favor so much of their family that they kind of bypass what you're talking about.
Yep.
And then on vice versa, if they don't have any family and you bring it in your family and you trying to, show them what a family is all about, they might reject you a little bit because it's
Mhm.
like, hey, I ain't trying to get close to you like that because my family ran out on me, and
Mhm.
you might run out on me too.
Uh-huh.
And yet again, we go back to that PTSD thing.
It's a double-edged knife.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
So to balance everything out is that's one of those things.
I mean, even with that, I mean, I've been in one of those situations before. Like with what I wanted and what I was looking forward to didn't line up with what the family wanted. So it was just like, well, we gonna you gonna be around, but we ain't gonna really rock with you like that. So it wasn't too much family involvement, which it didn't bother me, but still it was I would rather you be involved at some point, because I'm kind of big on family, That's one of them. It's one of them qualities. So I definitely get it. It's a lot that go into it.
So it is about that time for us to hit our little commercial break right here. So I'm gonna give me a hot second and pull this on up, and we're gonna go into our commercial, and then we're gonna hit y'all right back. So I wanted to bring a little Wale video up because like you said, a lot of people are not into the monogamy thing, and especially whenever we start talking about dating, we kind of mentioned a little bit earlier. If you don't have something already settled, and to say this is what it's gonna be, this is what it is, then it ain't gonna be a monogamous relationship. It's gonna be a relationship that's you do what you want to do, wild wild west lifestyle. So with that being said, here's the question: how do you define a healthy relationship?
You should be able to answer this with ease. With ease.
Um, I think, I mean, there's different ways you can define it, but I just think a relationship where you guys can communicate, um, goals match up, um, you guys can compromise 50-50 in the relationship. You're able to financially compromise with each other if you guys are doing that. Just pretty much a relationship that only continues to build both of you up and not bring one or either of you down, pretty much is how I would describe.
Okay.
Well, uh, I would probably use us for example, just solely based on the fact that our situation was a little unique because the pandemic happened
Mm.
and that shut everything down. So there is no for us. There was no going out.
Mm.
We had nothing but downtime. Whether she was at work or I was at work or we was chilling together, that was it. So, we spent the majority of our time on lockdown at home,
Mm.
watching movies, nothing but talking.
Much.
Good or bad.
It's
Good or bad.
nothing but talking. So like we had no choice but to get to know one another, and I think that built our foundation. So that built that trust. My biggest thing. I know people really rag on communication, and I get it. Communication is important, but to me, it's all about understanding one another. Because we can talk all day, but if you don't understand where I'm coming from, then we right back to square one. Nothing's gonna happen. So for me, it's always communication and understanding. Uh,
So I tell you, that thing's going crazy. So whenever you mention communication, how do you define communication?
um, I mean, it's anything as far as us, whether we have a problem, whether if it's like a big issue, maybe you having difficulties making a decision about something. Um, maybe if it's just something small, it could be on your mind. You know, we through every so much goes on throughout our daily lives. You know, you don't know if it's stressing you out or not until you maybe start to feel overwhelmed or anything. So it's important for you to, even if it's something small as you talking about your day, that could go a long way towards helping you stay balanced.
Mm.
So it's not just always about talking about major issues, or if we just, if she thinks something's wrong and she can voice it, we talk about it and find out a way to handle it, make it work. Or um and it could be anything, it could be work related, family related, um, school related. Like it, talk about it.
The reason I asked that the reason why I asked about the communication piece is because most people define communication in a lot of different ways, and some people say if I'm talking to you, and that's communicating. Other people could be, I mean, because whenever we think of communication, we got verbal and nonverbal.
Mm.
Yeah,
If I see you talking to me and I'm looking the other way, am I really communicating?
Mm.
not engaged.
So
Oh,
whenever, and so that's why I was asking that question about that communication piece, because I can come in there and I can tell you that I'm having a bad day, but my mind is elsewhere. I mean, on my phone, I got my little fun game I play, and everybody in the house know I'm playing this little game. And if I'm paying attention to you, it's all right. Then I'm focused on you. But if I'm study off and you study talking to me, am I really communicating with you? So whenever I say communication, it's just like you got. It's just like a telephone. You got the person who's transmitting, and you got to have that person that's receiving, and
Mm.
then vice versa. And if you don't, if you only got it one way. I hate one way conversations because if I'm in a one way conversation, I want to be the one that's talking, not the one that's receiving. So that's just
yeah, guaranteed. Well, you do. You got some people who just, I mean, they listen to respond. They're not listening to just, So nothing. Like they hearing you, but they already thinking about what they finna say
Mm.
next. So some of what you're saying may get missed, and that can lead to a whole nother storm that you might not want to deal with. So I think I have a pretty good understanding of it. We do it.
so thinking about healthy relationships. So have you ever seen a couple dating, or we'll even say in a relationship, and they made you want to date, or made you like, no, you know what? I think I'm gonna bypass on that one there, partner.
So uh, one of my frat brothers, I actually saw him today. Darius and Chloe, they're engaged now.
And he just put their business all out there like that.
So did. So I I went to college with them, spent a lot of time with them. Uh, Back in our college days, it was we was the three amigos. Went everywhere together, did everything together. So it would be times where they would have arguments in the car. I can't help but I'm the driver. I see it all, I hear it all. So some moments that they would have, would kind of deter me from. I don't think I want to deal with that. And I mean, it wasn't just them either. It was some more of our friends where, had a great relationship. One of our older sisters, before she graduated, uh, when she graduated, she went off, had kids and everything. She stuck with her guy all throughout. She met her husband in middle school. That's a long time. I would think they got serious growing pains throughout their relationship because that's you kids. All middle school, high school, then college. Y'all still made it. That's amazing. Like, man, if they can make it, shoot, I'm good. But I've had good and bad, so just had to make a conscious decision and actually be prepared for it.
What about you, Anna? You have too been in one of the situations?
No, I don't think I've ever had like seen somebody that's made me want to date or not date. I've seen things that kind of like put my mind into perspective on what to keep an eye open out in like my relationship. But I just know like regardless of if I see them arguing or them having a moment, it's going to be different for everybody. So I don't let it deter me because if it happens in my relationship, it happens. And if it doesn't, then it just didn't happen.
And B, I seen that video. I watched that video with your partner Darius and Chloe today.
Hmm.
And whenever you mentioned that, it was a piece in there when they was talking about how they would. And I looking at the video, it says like 3 years old,
Hmm.
but they was talking about how they communicate with each other. And they said sometimes they would be sitting up there yelling and fussing at each other, but that was the way they communicated. And other people would be outside looking in, looking at them like, man, y'all going at it like cats and dogs. But like I say, that's the way they communicated with each other. And they could be, and they had made a statement it's like, we could be going at it like cats and dogs. The next thing you know, one of them will say, hey, you want to get some ice cream? And boom, get some ice cream. And he said, but that's how they communicated.
They've come a long way since then.
So yeah, again, everybody's gonna be different.
Everybody,
And that's always a good thing because if we was all on the same playing field, we'd be all.
oh yeah, guaranteed, guaranteed.
So here's a good question here. Would you ever consider asking your partner to consent to a background drug or health test?
Absolutely.
Now, granted, we still talking about dating. We're not talking about the relationship, but we talking about in the dating phase.
Just dating.
I mean, I don't see a problem with it. I mean, you don't know what's going on, everybody. It's a different time now.
You don't know nowadays.
Dating means something different to everybody, and some people see that as me. That's like something special. It's like I look at dating as something different, and other people, 5 people at a time talking to multiple people. So I don't think it's an issue asking them for a test because I think it's important to be safe and it's important to know who you're introducing into your life, especially if you are looking at them as somebody potential for a future relationship. So.
A friend of mine got catfish like this because they talked for a while and some months went by and it came up that they weren't who they said they were. Things were done, so it was different. He wasn't who he said he was. He wasn't who he was actually supposed to be. So, I mean, just stuff like that. Like you said, nowadays, you never can be too careful. Now, if they don't consent to it, because they feel some type of way about it. Like maybe they think, oh, we just dating. This ain't nothing serious. Like why I got to do all this and that? Like, well, it's a big deal. This is my life you playing with, and vice versa. You don't know it. You do one, I do one. Show each other the results, and there it is. Now I will say it is gonna be a little weird because folks gonna look at you crazy and be like, "What is this?" Like, oh no, this a background check, drug check, health test, all of that. Because I know we dating and everything, but I don't know where you been.
It's true.
I don't know what you've experienced. I don't know your past. I need a heads up. I need to know what I'm getting myself into.
I mean, like you mentioned earlier about the I mentioned earlier when we started talking about going on dates and being uh, safe, like going into nice places with open fronts.
Mm-hmm.
With that background check, if you think about it, what if this dude or what if this girl is like some predator or something? I don't know.
Don't know.
You don't.
Be at
Don't
a bar
know.
or something, and next thing you know, they slipping roofies and they got a pass about slipping roofies to folks. So hey, I wanna know.
At that point, it's a must. I need to know. Like, hey, you're not gonna roofie me tonight. We're going to this bar and get this food.
And I mean, I'm not gonna say you need to do this on the second or third date, but I'm just saying we down the line a little bit, maybe some little potential because one of the things a lot of folks don't want to do, and the whole reason for dating is because you ain't trying to waste a bunch of time with somebody knowing it's gonna be done.
It's temporary, yeah.
So if I can go ahead and get a couple of things up front, I ain't got to go down this long line. Hey, we had fun. I'm gonna give you some depth, and we're gonna throw the deuces, and then we're gonna move on.
I'll let you see you when I see you.
See when I see you.
That's it.
So
But that's
you think that'll be something crazy to ask of somebody. But like you said, if you don't want to do it, either you hiding some or whatever the case may be. The good thing about it is I don't have to deal with it, and I can go on the move.
Yep, it ain't my problem.
So you got to be safe nowadays.
Dude,
Definitely.
especially nowadays.
Definitely, there's so much going on. Like I said, I see it with my friends. I go out with them, we hang out, and they talk to people. It's just the stuff they told me they've been through with these people. It's just like yeah, they probably needed to have done that background check. It's dangerous out here.
Hey, we always talking about that crazy person that's out there, but are they truly crazy or is it just an act? And either way it goes, I want to know what's going on up front.
I need to know. Because if it's not, then I know the exit stage left. I'm good. I'm gone.
Hey, I might need a couple of different references too. Like I heard you like to scratch cars up and bust windows out and all that other stuff. And especially that's one of them first date type things. If you start exposing stuff like that to me on that first date, thank you. Because ain't gonna be no second date.
Because you can always tell, like, you've done this before. Okay, I'm gonna take it all in. I won't give no hints. Check my body language, but once that date over, you won't ever hear from me again. Sorry.
That's jacked up, man.
You can't blame me for that.
So here's one. How would you describe a true gentleman or a true lady?
I consider myself to be a gentleman. Nothing too too big or just overdoing it. Like if we go out, obviously I'm gonna hold the door for her, open the car door for her, chivalry basically. I don't think like now, like when I go go out to certain places, if I go to the club or if I go to the bar, there's other people around, making sure I don't do anything or say anything to put myself in a certain situation, or to have her look stupid. Um, just being mindful, basically. That's being mindful.
So what does the chivalry stuff ever stop?
Uh,
Out of style,
is it out of style?
you would think.
No, it is.
Well, I ain't gonna say out of style, but I'm just saying, yet again, you just say mask off. Once you get it to a certain part, it's just like, you know what, I ain't doing this no more.
Yeah,
It's just like when folks get married. You can talk to any married person, they be like, well, back when we was dating, we was doing this, 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 this. The next thing you know, we married. It's just like, whatever.
I got her now. Yeah,
Yeah.
she ain't going nowhere.
Hey, I was 130 pounds before we got married. Next thing you know, we married now. I'm 199. Let it go.
Let it go. Let it go. It don't matter. She can go nowhere.
Hey, she used to cook all the time at first, but now we got married. Man, her left hand stick out the window more than anything. More than this. But that's some of the things. So yet again, whenever you start talking about that true gentleman or lady, do you think it's at a certain point in time that it just ends?
I don't think it should. I don't see why. I mean, that's all a part of. Well, that's complacency. To me, that's already not a good thing because that's how you develop bad habits. Once you get a little bit too comfortable, that's stuff start going down south. So, I mean, I don't think it should die down. Me, for example, if I do it now, it's a habit, so I'm always going. It'll feel weird if I don't do it. You know.
See, I think that goes back to your point that you had mentioned earlier about expectations. If you set an expectation up at the beginning, now you need to keep on going with it. But now, if it was something that you really weren't doing now, then, and next thing you know, you get really involved in that relationship, then you start doing it because now your true character is coming out. That'll be
Mhm.
something totally different.
Yep. Yep. And that's another thing. People's true colors are never shown within those first few months. It takes time. And then at that point, you've already invested so much of your time into that person. Then those qualities come out, and it's like, oh, I don't, I don't think I like you that much. This is a mistake. You tricked me. You tricked me.
Well, sometimes some people get so far within that relationship though, they just be like, you know what, that person probably tricked me and everything, but I'm stuck with this person now.
And that's tough. Like I mean, you got to think about it. It's just being in a relationship is a big deal because this the potentially if you dating you relationship to marry at some point, that's the rest of your life. That's a huge commitment. So you got to be prepared for it. So it's like it's a delicate situation. You got to know who you're dealing with.
Somebody, this comment right here: a true gentleman will open doors and make sure a woman is taken care of. Take your time, and then the next comment is give it a good year of dates to know a person. And
Man, a year.
a certain amount of time because if I'm with a person for a year and I only see them once every 3 weeks
Mm,
or once a month, maybe I'm a truck driver or something, and whenever I come into town on a weekend, I go spend time with this person.
mhm.
So my whole year can go by real quick. But like in y'all instance, like you said, COVID happened. Now you stuck with a person. Now within that time period there, you know what's going on with that person.
Yeah, yeah. early on.
Yeah.
Can't hide nothing.
I know COVID was really time to make and break relationships there.
Yeah.
You really got to know your partner.
A lot
that
of
time.
domestic violence was going on during COVID. People couldn't stand to be in the same place with each other for too long.
And I think a lot of people learned a lot about their own kids too.
Oh,
Yeah.
They were sitting up there blaming the teachers about stuff. Next thing you know, they sitting up there talking about, oh, I need to get my kid up out this house. But them be the same people that sitting up there still taking up for their kids, knowing their kids bad as all get up.
Yeah.
Kids, why you think the teacher gonna be able to handle them? Oh, that folks killed me.
Nah,
It's gonna be our last question right here. We only got 3 minutes to go. Would you date yourself?
absolutely. I would date me. I would date me. I love me. Love me some me. Yeah, I date me.
Now think about all your shortcomings and certain things that people like kind of despise about you. Are you
Yeah.
despise about yourself?
Well,
You put up with it.
well, I have to. It's me. I have
No,
to. I have to.
it's not you.
If
Hmm?
would you date as someone else? Would you date you?
Oh, it's someone like if you was me, would I date me?
Yeah.
If you was me,
If I was literally like
like
the
a
female,
female
version
me?
of you.
I would. I don't think it would work out, but I would. Because I don't. As far as personality wise goes, I don't want somebody to be just like me. Like, yeah, I would date me, but it'd be for fun. It wouldn't be nothing for me to be serious about. Because if you my absolute twin, it'll kind of be. I don't know. It wouldn't really be a challenge. I say that
Mhm.
because I know me. I know how I'm gonna react. I know what I'm gonna do. I know what I'm gonna say. So I'm gonna finish your sentences. I might cut you off because it's okay. I know what to do. I got you. Don't worry about it. You good. As soon as you're like, I got you. Don't say nothing. I'm on
They
it.
just be cutting you off right back.
And that's fine. That's fine. We can predict each other. That's cool. And you see now, after a while, it's gonna become a problem because I just know you so well. You're me.
So would you date yourself on it?
I feel like I would try, but I don't know if it would work out between me. I'm a very emotional person, so I really need somebody that can balance that out and bring me down. And you can't have two emotional crazies trying to bring each other
Ooh.
down.
Boy.
They both of them be sitting up there crying all the time.
Exactly.
I cannot believe you said that. I can't believe you said that.
I need somebody to be like, all right, stop. You're being too much. Calm down. It's not that serious.
Oh my God.
Because if we both doing that, it's not going to get nowhere.
That's a train wreck.
Hey, I tell you, it'll be a thing. Sit there and date yourself.
Hey, you know what? I'm curious. They need to do like a little virtual thing. Little virtual simulation. You can date yourself.
That'd be pretty cool.
See how that would go.
I couldn't do it.
Oh, I know
Couldn't
you
date
couldn't.
yourself?
I know you couldn't. No.
No. What?
Hey, I don't even see how most people put up with me in the first place. So for me to be with myself all the time, yeah.
Well, you know, you have those moments where you be like, dang. You know, you got some qualities like, I hate I do this, I hate I do that. Everybody got that some of those qualities. So it's like, man, I can't stand when I do that.
And that's why I say I know I couldn't do it. Well, people, we about 1 minute over, but I do want to thank y'all for coming on. So the floor is y'all. If y'all want to have any parting words, want to say something to the people, we got some people from Senegal and in Sweden looking at the show right now. So just if you want to say anything, give a shout out to anybody. It's your opportunity.
If you're out there in the dating world, be careful. Watch out for yourself. If you just been maybe struggling to find somebody, or if it's just not working out, not to be mean or anything, but you may have to take a look in the mirror because sometimes it can be you. So just always strive to be better than yesterday. Strive for the highest.
Got anything, Bree?
Mhm. That's good.
You don't give no shout outs to nobody?
I'm good.
All right.
Yeah, shout
All
out
right,
to
so I got to wrap up. My little thing, my little two pieces on this one is the better you are at taking care of yourself, the more you'll be able comfortably to let your partner be who he or she is. And me as a life coach, and I'll say my niche is relationships. And for me, you cannot build a good relationship with somebody else if you don't know who you are. So I can't expect, I can't have any expectations of you loving me if I don't know how I need to be loved or what I need to be loved. And that's what that right there mean to me. So that's my thing. So if anybody need relationship, I'm not gonna say advice or
yeah.
recommendations, but if you need to work on yourself, hit me up, myhardlifecoach@gmail.com, or you can hit the website. Either way it goes, get in contact with me, and then we'll make it happen. We're gonna make it do what it do. So with that being said, we out of here.
See y'all.
Yeah, if I can find the outro, I guess that'll be.
All